this is a small YouTube video for my IT course. So today I'm just going to be showing you my research project, which is called The Advancement of Technology, aka Japanese for Robots. Yes, I'm a nerd. Hold your horses. So, first up we have here the honor code, which we're supposed to put here so you know we're not plagiarizing and stuff like that, because you don't want to get an F because of plagiarizing. Don't do that, kids. You should know better. Especially if you're in college. You should definitely know better. Anyway, we have our introduction. So, as I said here, the world has made many advancements. We've created telephones, computers, televisions, and cars. We've made 3D movies, virtual reality games, and body parts for those who lost them. Among these advancements, we are on the verge of perfecting artificial intelligence, robots, androids, and machines that can do any job for us. They can do anything for us, basically. Japan is the leader of the robot industry, hence Japanese robots. Over the years, they have been creating many different robots for many different purposes. The idea has slowly spread across the world, but none are close to what Japan has done. They have made the biggest strides to making robots a part of our reality. Like anything we create, it is created out of trial and error. Many fears come from the thoughts of robots. People are afraid of what they would do when they start working on their own. Will they have human emotions or even comprehend them? Will they be able to make the correct choice based off of logic alone? Like, who knows? Like, guys, oh my god, we're gonna get more into this later in the paper, but like, I'm just saying, this gets deep. I will discuss many of these issues in my research paper. Current use, security aspects, ethical and social implications, and future use will be my main focal points. A list of all my sources, of course, will be on the last page, because you gotta have that works cited, no plagiarizing. So feel free to check out this research yourself. Current use. I'm sure you already know what a robot is, but just in case, this scholastic journal defines it perfectly. Robots are generally defined as automatic device that performs functions normally ascribed to, humans, written by a person named Kim. Robots can be used for multiple different tasks. Some robots are used in factories to help make objects, while many are still in testing. Some robots still live in our imagination, but are displayed. Sorry, my apologies, guys. We all mess up sometimes. But are displayed through video games such as Detroit Become Human, a popular game created just this year, where they can be described as tiny objects but have huge impacts on brain function, such as the squib made in Japan. From the play Be More Chill, which is a great musical. I suggest you look it up on iTunes. It is wonderful. As Cross has written, Japan is that it hosts the most advanced androcidal. I don't know how to pronounce that word, guys, but you know what I'm trying to say. Androids, basically, technology. Japan is known for 3 different types of robots: industrial, professional service, and personal service. As I've said before, there are robots who work in factories. Those would be the industrial robots, of course. These robots help make products like food or packages them. There are about 250 robots for every 10,000 manufacturing workers. Did you know that? Well, this dude named Robinson did. Many industries have become dependent on industry robots. If you watch any show that shows the inside of a factory, like, I think there's a show called like How It's Made or something that like shows like these like how stuff is made, and it'll show you like the inside of a factory, and it will show you like how these robots are like putting the pattern down or like packaging it in a bag or anything like that. That's basically what it's like. You'll see examples of these type of robots mostly on those type of shows. Some serve in the medical field, which we will discuss later, but that's more of a security concern, and are used to help patients. One could even think that the X-ray or MRI machines can be classified as robots, just like how an ATM or a vending machine can be considered a robot. Professional robots can be used to take over careers. That's right, people, robots are going to take our jobs, okay? And that can be both a good thing or a bad thing, okay? Let me tell you, alright? They can be made to be scientists or aides in the field of science. They can be the test subject themselves because, why not? There is a robot made just for scientific exploration, advancing how robots think and feel. It's called the iCub. And no, I don't think it was created by Apple. It's a robot designed to look and learn like a toddler. 20 iCub iCub models are in labs all around the world. In the Nagasaki prefecture, the historical theme park's newest lodging place is the world's finest hotel staffed by robots. Like the robot in this article, they could be used for service. The robots in the article or in the hotel replace the jobs with clerks, bellhops, and hosts, which are all professional careers. Personal service robots are like maids, butlers, nurses for the elderly, and so on. They clean the house, make food, take care of the children, much more housely duties. These robots mainly exist in our fantasy and dreams, but you know what? I know I can't wait to have like a robot butler, but I'm gonna treat that robot butler nice, because as I said, robots can be scary. Personal robots will prove to be the better caregiver and hopefully work without error, which is why many would prefer a robot to a human. Now we get into the nitty-gritty stuff. Security. Now, of course, we all know we want to be safe, right? We want ourselves to be safe, we want our children to be safe, we want our friends and family to be safe. And, well, a robot is just like any machine. It's prone to malfunction. They are easily accessible, and we have not fully broken the knowledge barrier that hinders us from making them perfect. You know what I'm saying? They're easy to be hacked. They can be manipulated. They can encounter errors. Do you remember how I told you a robot was issued to a patient a few years ago? The robot experienced multiple errors. It experienced errors in collaboration, installation, and the rigidity of the robot. It's terrifying to think how many errors this one robot had, and it was given to a patient in the hospital. There's no information on if the patient was harmed or injured, and I pray that they weren't. The security concern with robots is that they are not only susceptible to multiple errors, but also hacking and malfunctions. It can be a huge concern for who the robot is working for. If it's a personal servant and it malfunctions, it can burn down the house cooking, harm the person it's helping, or kill the baby it's taking care of. Robots are fragile, like us, but at a way more dangerous level that we must keep an eye on. This quote, "Robots are increasingly moving beyond the reach of control," sums up my thoughts exactly. So thank you, Matsuzaki. If we can't control them, they could overthrow us at any minute, which is terrifying. The interaction between robots that we can't control and humans just gonna cause problems, which is why we have to be careful. They can be both helpful and a threat. And if they can control themselves by themselves, what's stopping them from doing something deadly? Ethical and social implications are next. And this also gets pretty deep because you have to take into consideration we as humans are creating these things. These things need to be like our child. They need to be like our children. You know what I'm saying? We need to take care of them like they are our child. And if we don't do that, things could get rough. Really rough. Now on the brighter side, because I don't want to give all the cons of robots, because robots can offer many benefits. As we evolve as a human race, we are becoming more and more limited on time. Soon, we want to be able to leave the house for a simple walk because we're so busy. The inclusion of robots could take some of the stress out of our everyday lives. With more time on our hands, we can go out more and perform social interactions. Did you know Japan started to create robots because it has a low birth rate? I mean, Japan is a workaholic nation. So, I mean, it's understandable. Their birth rates are pretty low because people don't interact with each other. Which sucks because you want to have a future generation to keep you going. The help of robots will take the stress off of some of the civilians so they can form relationships and eventually procreate. Ugh. But at least form relationships. Procreate, maybe. But form relationships, that's what you want. We could develop better friendships. But there is a bad side, like always. We could become too independent on them. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there are people out there who probably be jogging with the robots or something, but we could end up like the humans on WALL-E, fat, lazy, and unable to provide for themselves. But we must be wary when it comes to robot ethics or robot ethics. Robots, as explained by Kim, are the cultural other. When the sense of an other arises, fear and suffering does too. Do you know the Book of Frankenstein? Do you know how Victor Frankenstein hated his monster, his creation, and didn't treat it correctly? It came back to ruin his life. Yeah, you don't want that, do you? You probably don't. Anyway, we must ask the question of how we're going to care for the robots. How should we love them? Will we ever love them, or will we treat them as slaves? Do they deserve love? You probably don't think so, because, robots shouldn't have feelings, but what if they become robots who start to have feelings? Do you understand what I'm saying? Would it be within our morals to treat them with the status of a human being? Or are we going to have them grovel beneath us? Lastly, we got our future uses up in here, guys. This isn't as long as the other ones, trust me. The video is almost over. As I've explained, robots are our future. We are advancing and advancing and advancing that sooner or later they're going to be here. We aren't far enough in the development to put them out into the market yet, but we are getting close. We are slowly advancing more and more to develop full functioning robots. Japan is banking on its economic revival. Japan is banking its economic revival on robots when they come. So it could help rejuvenate the country, hopefully, and as I said before, help them form better relationships and hopefully expand their birth rate. In the future, we'll have them everywhere. Households, businesses, factories, like we already do. Like, oh my god. We'll have them as maids and butlers and in every profession around the world. They can even help us learn more about the world, which is exciting. They can explore the deepest regions of the ocean or help us start life on Mars. You know those little probes we send up, satellites, stuff like that? Those can be considered robots too. Or the future could be the start of something terrible. It could be the start of the robot apocalypse. They could gain consciousness and feel like we even enslaved them, which we don't want. They could revolt against us, and because they are far more intelligent than us, they're far better than us, they could win and end humanity as we know it. It all depends on us as its creators. Are we going to be a Victor Frankenstein? Or are we going to be the loving mother who takes care of their child? Anyway, that's pretty much the end of my paper. All the stuff is works cited. Thank you to these beautiful sources. I suggest you guys go... Pardon me, someone come down with the code. I suggest you guys go and check out these sources because they are amazing. They provide so much information, and I've only scratched the surface of the thoughts and the info and everything that I got from them. So I suggest go and check these out, and if you don't want to check these out, go research for your own. You can learn a lot, and who knows, maybe you can help us not cause the robo-apocalypse. Just a thought. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, thanks anyway. Thanks for watching.